Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys about this magnifier from Holosun. It's the HM3X, 3 times magnification. You have the ability to flip it back out of your way, flip it back into place. And, one of my favorite features about this, which is common on a lot of magnifiers, is the ability to quickly remove it, get this out of the way, because this really lightens the rifle up a lot. Okay, and then put it back on when you do need it, and it goes on pretty quickly. It's got it doesn't just go down. There's a little latch that actually locks it in place. So you see there's a button there, so you push it down. If I want to open it, I got to push it in and then pull it out. So it has a really good locking feature. So I really like the concept. The problem that I'm having is there's a shift in point of aim, and that's unquestionable. I've been testing this out for 2 days now. I've put a lot of time into it, a lot of rounds downrange. I've tested this out at 50 yards, at 100 yards, and at 200 yards. And the 50 yards is kind of ideal because I can see the reticle just as clearly without the magnification as with the magnification. So it's a good place to see the difference in the point of aim shift. So at 50 yards, I zeroed it. I mean, I kind of went back and forth, zeroing it with magnification, re-zeroing it with it. I did all sorts of different combinations. In this particular example I have here, I had zeroed it with the magnification. So I'm hitting just below the bullseye. Mind you, this had been zeroed in at 100 yards, so that's why it dropped a little bit here at 50 yards. But with the magnification, you can see it's impacting here, and then without the magnification, it's impacting about 3 inches lower. Okay, so there's a 3-inch shift when you go from no magnification to magnification. And the same deal here. Okay, here this is earlier when I had zeroed it on the red dot without the magnifier. So without the magnifier, I'm pretty close to the bullseye, and then when I use the magnifier, there's about a 3-inch shift upwards. Or in this case, it was 2.5. But yeah, there's definitely a shift when you go from magnification to no magnification. I've tried everything. There are these adjustment. Basically there is windage and elevation on this. That's supposed to center it, so that sometimes when you look at it, that once you bring the lens over, it might not be centered. So these are more to center it. However, that's not supposed to shift your point of aim. But if you're really off center, right, the parallax can throw off your point of aim. So it's kind of like a red dot, right? If I'm just looking at the red dot, okay, if I'm got my face perfectly on the gun and I'm looking in my scope, okay, I got a 0. Now if I move my face off the gun a little bit, all right, yeah, I mean I can still see my red dot like off to the side, like near the edge, okay. So even though my red dot's on it, that's gonna shift my point of aim a little bit, okay. So that's the issue with the magnifier, is that you have to center it so that you don't have a parallax shift. However, I have been playing with that back and forth for 2 days now. I know that this thing is centered, right? And in fact, I've gone from one extreme to the other extreme, and there is still a point of aim shift by somewhere between 3 inches to 4 inches. Okay, and basically when I use the magnifier, it shifts it up. So the magnification shifts the point of aim up 3 inches. And that's at 50 yards, although I've seen it at further distances, obviously, as well. But I focus mostly on the 50 yards for the reason I said earlier, that I can see the reticle clearly with magnification and without magnification. So, now, one of the things I should say is obviously I do wear glasses. There's a lens back here that I had to unscrew to make this clear, okay? I don't know how far this might have, how much this might have affected the point of aim shift. Maybe somebody that didn't need to unscrew this as far back as I did, maybe they wouldn't have the same point of aim shift. So I don't know if that's a factor. The fact that I have some type of astigmatism in my eye, I have to shift this back in order for me to see clearly. That might be part of the reason why I have that point of aim shift. I do not know. But there's definitely a point of aim shift for me. No questions about it. Okay, I've done this repeatedly. It is 3 inches high with the magnifier. Now, beyond that, let me just talk about this whole concept of magnification. These really are my first impressions, because I've been playing with this now for a couple of days. In the past, I was either red dot or variable scope. I use a 1 to 8, and my idea is that the combination of these two things is a pound 5 ounces, which is very close to the 1.5 pounds that I get on my 1 to 8 scope. So my thought in the past was, if I'm going to put this much weight on my gun, why stop at 3 magnification? Why not go all the way to 8 magnification? Okay, and now you can go all the way to 10 magnification. So that was my thinking. But the thing that changes it for me is the fact that you can quickly detach this and take it off. Now I know that's not going to be popular with some people, but hey, I like it. I like the idea of being able to take this off and put this back on. And I like the idea that I can also take this off and put this on any other AR-15 that I have. So I can use this magnifier with any AR. In general, I have to have a red dot for every AR-15 I have, because there's a whole zeroing process that you got to go through, okay? That's not the case with the magnifier, okay? So every AR is going to have its own red dot, but not every AR has to have its own magnifier, because you can basically take the magnifier from one and just keep moving it around. One of the things that I'm starting, like, I didn't bother putting backup sights on this. I did try it. They looked really bulky. I said that's just silly. I'm not going to be using the backup sights on this thing, anyway. Why even bother putting them on there? This is at this point I'm not using it. I did order some of the really low profile ones, the low profile ones from Magpul. They're not supposed to come for, like, I think they're like back ordered like 2 months. I might put those on here because those are small, thin, kind of out of the way. I didn't want to put the big bulky backup sights on this. I want to keep this gun as light as possible, and remove the magnifier when I'm not using it. Okay, so that's how I intend to use this. But those are really my initial impressions on this. I do like the concept of the magnifier, the ability to be able to remove it and put it back on. But that point of aim shift is a problem for me. Okay, and I'm thinking of calling up Holosun and seeing, if their technicians know anything about this. Is this a problem with this particular model? Is it a problem in general with magnifiers? Is that just something that I have to accept? In which case, what I would do is I would change my zero. I would basically take a zero where, because if it's going to be a 3, if the magnification is going to move my point of aim up 3 inches, what I would do is I would go with I would zero below my bullseye, like over here, without the magnifier, so that I know with the magnifier I'm hitting someplace up here, as opposed to being all the way down here. So I would have to change the way I zero if I decide that's what I'm gonna, if I decide I'm gonna keep working with this. One of the options that I'm considering is also upgrading to the more expensive one they got. This is the $200 one. They have a $300 one from Holosun. I don't know if that's going to fix the problem or it's not going to fix the problem. Like I said, I did play with the adjustments here. I moved it all the way from back and forth, up and down, one side to the other. That did not seem to affect the point of aim. Okay, those are my thoughts. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, feedback, do put it in the comment section for me. I'll definitely read it. I have asked a lot of other people that I know that use magnifiers. Some of them have told me that they don't experience a shift. Others have told me that there will always be a shift. So I'm getting a lot of different, almost conflicting pieces of information on this. So so if you guys have anything that you guys want to add to the pool of knowledge, please do so in the comment section. If you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.